Hi guys, this is me, and it's a quick update. I did an EVP session this morning, and I caught a weird EVP off this teddy bear right here. Now, it sounded like a child EVP. I don't know. Maybe a child spirit haunts that teddy bear, but I'm keeping it. Um, yeah, I like haunted dolls. I watched the movie Annabelle. Annabelle creation. Annabelle Comes Home. I have not seen yet. If it's any good, I watch it. It's a good. It's based on the Conjuring universe. James Wan, he made the Conjuring, and he did a good job on that. I have to say there are very scary scenes. I found the most scariest scene was the hide and clap, where the woman was hearing clapping and she thought it was her children, but they were asleep, so it wasn't her children. And then she goes, "Who's that?" And she went to the basement because that's where it was coming from. Then it stopped. And then suddenly, the woman gets locked in the basement with the ghost, and the ghost goes, "Do you want to play hide and clap?" And then claps behind her, and it's creepy. And I'm like, if anyone locked me in the basement, I would pray for God to keep me safe because I don't know what it would be. But if any ghost did that to me, I don't mind ghosts, but if they lock me in the basement, at least I have my dog. And I know I have my dog and I have my TV. I'm pretty safe. I have my dog. And I would call my dad, but I don't want to wake him up in the middle of the night unless it's necessary. But you don't wake someone up unless you have to. But this is like where it gets creepy. I mean, hearing weird noises in my house, usually around 12 a.m. to 4 a.m. It starts and then it stops. But when I do an EVP session with it using a ghost box, I notice I've had some results like spirits talk through it. And they sound more like female spirits and children's spirits. I've heard a few male spirits, but that's off Red the Haunted Doll. Usually they're children or female spirits. I don't know much about the history. I know that Tiffany is a spirit who haunts my haunted doll, and she's haunted by a 12-year-old girl who died in 1932 of tuberculosis. That's what I was told when my dad bought me the haunted doll, Tiffany. No, Tiffany is a porcelain haunted doll. She's 15 inches. I just keep her on a stand. I try not to take her out because she's fragile and I don't want her to break because porcelain dolls you never take outside. They're very fragile. They're hard to find. They're a one of a kind haunted doll. So don't you have to keep them safe. You cherish them, right? Like they're your dolls. Right. Um you have to keep any haunted doll you buy safe because there's people out there who steal, and you know haunted dolls are a hard to find item. They're a one of the kind item. I like them and I keep them safe. If they're really bad spirits, I would keep them behind a glass cabinet and put a warning sign on them, but only if they're like contained by a angry or violent spirit. I keep them behind the glass cage so they don't hurt anyone, which is a glass cabinet, so they don't hurt anyone, and put a warning: do not open the glass cabinet, if I had to put one behind the glass cabinet because it was an aggressive spirit in it or something. I just put it behind a glass cabinet and put a warning sign on it because I wouldn't want anyone taking it out unless it's really necessary. But those kind of items you put behind a glass cabinet if they're really, really angry spirits, which would be considered demonic. Yeah, any item can become haunted. Now, if you take a haunted doll to a cemetery and leave it there for a bit, you're going to get your haunted doll haunted by the spirits of the cemetery. And whoever you leave it by, the spirit of that cemetery will haunt your doll if you do that. That's how you get your doll haunted. You leave it somewhere that's haunted. That's if you want your doll to be haunted. That's how haunted dolls are invented. The spirit of whatever vessel is in the doll contains a vessel. A haunted doll is a vessel, really. It's not really a child like children you see walking to the bus. They're actually called a vessel. And in that vessel holds the spirit. You cannot get rid of a vessel. It's like getting rid of your child. You can't. You cannot get rid of a vessel. You have to keep that vessel because the vessel is like part of you. And when you buy a haunted doll, you're buying a vessel. You're not just buying a doll, you're buying a vessel. The reason for that is you never ever get rid of a haunted doll because they have a vessel in it. You can't destroy a haunted doll because of the vessel in it. Whatever is in it haunts the doll and possesses the doll. It's kind of like you have a duty to protect that haunted doll. You know, haunted dolls are either good spirits or angry, but whatever spirit is in the haunted doll, you have to leave it alone. You can do EVP with it, you can talk to it, but never destroy the haunted doll because of the vessel in it is very strong and very powerful, and you don't want to do that. If you're afraid of it, get someone to investigate it or talk to it, but I don't agree with hurting the vessel. Haunted dolls are real. My stomach rumbles. I don't know why. I've had issues where they do that. My stomach. I have gastrointestinal problems. Personal. I don't need to talk about it. That's why I'm a vegan, though. Now you know. But we're not talking about that. That's like enough about that, okay? Right now we're talking about haunted vessels, in which a haunted vessel could be the spirit of a child who haunts a doll or a teddy bear. If your item's haunted, a teddy bear you bought is haunted, it's either haunted by a vessel of a child spirit or an adult spirit. Whoever haunts that doll doesn't have to be a child, but it could be an adult spirit. But soon as you bring the haunted doll in your house, you're going to hear it move. You're going to hear footsteps. You're going to hear noises. And you're going to hear crying. You might hear some child crying or an adult crying. It's just because the haunted doll has a vessel and that vessel has to move around, exercise its rights, right? Like you have to move around, children have to move around. This vessel, whatever is inside your haunted doll, will not leave you alone because they have a vessel and they have to move about. Don't be afraid of them because they could be the vessel of a child or an adult that is lost. You have to talk to them and ask why they're here. But spirits need help. They're lost or either here for a reason. And they don't haunt a doll for nothing. They have a reason. That doll may have some important value to that spirit or the child spirit haunting it. Now, if you buy a haunted doll from 1810, of course it's going to be haunted. It's going to hold a vessel. So don't expect it to not be haunted. I mean, any doll that's old is haunted. I mean, a child who haunts a doll has died and put their spirit inside a doll. It's like when you die and make permission to be cremated, don't expect that the cremation that you went inside, that you won't come back and haunt the house that you cremated in. Because the person who cremated you, this is if that happened, um, wanted your ashes probably because they miss you or something. And then the spirit, whatever is in the ashes, if you break that, then the spirit gets released. So, yes, you may be haunted by ashes of a person after they die, or it could be someone who was close to you could haunt you. Anything can become haunted. A clock can become haunted, a bunk bed, any item that a ghost sees feasible to haunt will haunt.